Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my new video. I am pumped. I am absolutely stoked for today's video. I had a lot of fun making it. Hopefully it will help you out. I know it has to help out at least a few people. My name is Lolfit. I do educational content. I do tip videos, guide videos for League of Legends, but we are not talking about that kind of stuff today. We are talking about creating your own YouTube channel or your own Twitch channel. Now, the reasoning behind me making this video, you're like, hey, Lolfit, why are you doing a video like this? You only have 2,000 subscribers. Why would I want to take advice from you? I have a very unique experience because I just recently created my channel, I think back in March. So I have a lot of fresh knowledge on how to grow and how I separated myself from a lot of people that I kind of subscribed to at the same time that were at similar levels. Like we both had 100 subscribers and I wanted to see how my growth was compared to other people. So I feel like I'm kind of in a unique spot where I have a lot of information really fresh in my brain. I am not one of those guys that was like, oh, I've been on YouTube for 8 years and the way I was able to grow, like so many people have already probably done the same thing some of those people did 8 years ago. So it's very, very different. Now, this video is quite long because I'm very passionate in helping. I just want to help that one guy. I just want to help that one girl that just explodes and does extremely well, and it just brings so much happiness to their life. So I just want to help out that one person. If I could do that, I will consider this video a success. But with a long video, we have timestamps because I think this video is probably going to run around 30 minutes because I wanted to get everything out there and help you guys as much as possible because there are so many people very passionate about creating a YouTube channel or doing Twitch. Now, if you have any questions for me, I am extremely interactive with my Discord and with my comments section, and we'll get into that later. So if you want like a personal live chat, there's going to be a Discord link in the description, and I should be able to help you out. And if you're curious at all about kind of the money you'll be making when you're smaller, I can give you that little bit of information. It's kind of irrelevant, but if that all interests you, I put it kind of at the end of the video. Next up, we're going to go over these subjects. Now, we have kind of creating your banner and just first starting out. I'm going to be going over the first section. Second section is resources and what you can look to help grow your channel. It doesn't all have to just come from your own head and like your own ideas. There's going to be people out there that can foster kind of like a dialogue that is really going to be able to give you some just creative ideas and just kind of build off other things. Next up, we're going to talk about video creation and kind of like the anxiety behind like putting out your first video or like putting out another video after you just got dislike bombed or a bunch of people hated your last video. And then we're going to go into the community and what you can really do to help foster it. And those will be the sections for now. I might be doing a part 2 to this video, so it just depends on how well received this is. So without further ado, guys, let's just jump right in to the video. Alright, and let's talk about some creation, starting up your channel, and just a bit of brainstorming you can do before you start up your channel and start looking to put a bunch of different things together. First up, an extremely important part of doing YouTube or of doing Twitch is finding your niche. There's tens of thousands, if not more, people out there that want to do something extremely similar to what you want to do. So you want to separate yourself. Like, imagine walking down a cereal aisle, right? There are hundreds of different boxes of cereal. There's Trix and Rice Krispies and Cocoa Puffs and Frosted Flakes. And what is going to separate you from all those different brands? You need to figure out something that's just really uniquely you and is going to be able to provide some sort of value to people and make them want to watch you. Let's go over a couple common things that can draw people if you are looking to get into the content creation space. Now, when I go over these people, I'm not saying that they're very one-dimensional and they're only like, oh, this person's only that, this person's only that. all of these people have a great mix of everything. I just want to show people that kind of really key in on one particular thing. And first up, an easy one thing that you want to at least have a couple of these things to some extent. You don't have to be the very best, you don't have to do all this. Let's just get into it. So TF Boyd, an extremely talented top lane player. He plays a bunch of exciting assassins, so it is extremely understandable that his channel is done very well because he is a top-notch League of Legends player. Next up, we have Sky Williams, a very charismatic person who can tell stories well. He can make you laugh, and he does pretty well in League too. So that there's kind of the different ways you can look to approach your YouTube channel. Next up, we have a great storyteller. Joe Rogan has just created a huge podcast, and all he does is he's just sitting in a room talking with people. I mean, and he's just getting millions of views on I think that's his most common video. But millions of views on his videos, and it's just him chilling, talking, telling stories, and just regaling us of what's happened and what's going to happen in like the fight world, and it covers a bunch of different subjects. So there's that route. And then also one thing that can also really help is being very attractive. Now, I'm not saying that Pokemon is only popular because she's attractive. I'm just saying that it is extremely helpful to have one of these things, or maybe a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Just you want either good gameplay that's really top-notch level that people want to watch, be very charismatic, great storyteller, or just be insanely attractive. So those are a couple of the different things you can look to go into and kind of emphasize your channel around. Let's talk about your banner and your icon. You want it to tell a story. Now, unfortunately, I am not the most artistic person, so I actually, this banner was fan created, and this icon was also fan created because I'm very poor, something I really need to work on and getting better. But it does tell a little bit of a story. It has my name, and then it shows that I'm a little bit higher than average ranked player in League of Legends. And then my icon shows a bunch of bronze, silver, and gold people who my channel is focused towards helping them climb out of low elo, and kind of like a little hat emphasizing that I enjoy teaching people how to play League of Legends. So you want to have your personality come across when you are creating your banner. They don't want to just be looking at a blank banner and just an icon with like that shadowed out thing that nothing's uploaded. So make sure you have those in part, and then also you need to have something that you are super passionate about. I mean, I don't know how many videos I've done, but I've done like, I'm guessing around 100 videos so far, and it's just all League of Legends related because I love playing League of Legends, and I feel like it really comes across in my streams and my videos that once you find a subject you can really you'll talk with people on the street about, that is something that you should look to take into being your main idea, and just kind of how you're going to be creating your YouTube channel. Okay, and that will wrap up kind of the introduction, kind of things you want to brainstorm, think about when you are looking to get into the space. Alright, let's dive into some of the resources that are at your fingertips you can use to help grow your channel. First up, a really good thing that you can do that's going to help you grow a little bit on YouTube is see what the competition is doing. We're going to just do basic keywords, League of Legends gameplay, and you can just take a look at what type of videos are really popular and are ranking high, and what their thumbnails look like. You can look at what kind of channels they are. I think Huzzy's Educational is a one-trick channel with Shaco. Professor Akali does a bunch of really kooky builds, and there's a bunch of different people with different kind of niches. Solo Renekton Only, one of my favorite. He sometimes does educational and does a lot of really cool troll builds. So just look and kind of scope out what they're doing and how you can separate yourself from them. You want to have a reason why someone is going to want to click your video over someone else's video that is in this list that already is pretty popular. This is going to be pretty difficult to do, but I think when you find that niche that you can feel like you can start competing a little bit more with the bigger channels, it can really pay off. Now I want to show you guys, it is not only about views. It's not only the top people get all the views. See, with this really basic, probably really heavily searched keywords, there's someone with, what is this, 2.8k views, and it's the 3rd ranked video, and it's ranked above people with like 1 million subscribers and hundreds of thousands of views on their videos. So it doesn't only prioritize big channels. So keep this in mind when you are doing it. So sometimes something really unique can stand out. This is actually a perfect example. This guy does Ivern Jungle. Ivern is a very rare champion and is probably like a really, there aren't too many people creating stuff like that. So he has a nice little niche where he can create videos, and he has very little competition. Next up, we have some of the resources that are going to be a bit more general. They're not going to be geared towards League of Legends or towards Fortnite or towards whatever kind of thing you want to go and do your creation with. Creator Insider is a great channel that goes over a bunch of different stuff with updates that are happening in the Creator Studio, what's happening with monetization. I think this is when new ads came out. Sometimes they help with thumbnails. They talk about myth busting. There is just so much invaluable information from YouTube itself on this channel. So if you are looking to start up a YouTube channel, I heavily recommend you check out Creators Insider, because they're pretty funny and they have a lot of information and they bring on great guests. Next up, we have Video Creators. He was actually the first guy that I found when I searched. I think I searched something like, how do you get your first 100 subscribers on YouTube or something, and this guy popped up, and it's just a bunch of stuff. He has a bunch of stuff like on thumbnails. He has a bunch of stuff on growing vlog channels and SEO, so going over like your keywords, how important your title is, your description, your about page. So there are so many resources out there. You just really need to go out there and watch a bit of them, and they are going to be really good advice. I can personally vouch for these 2 channels if you are really looking to get into the space. Next up, what you want to do, another great resource is Reddit. You want to find where your potential audience, where they congregate, that's off YouTube, and one of those things is Reddit. One of those things is Twitter. I think there's a couple other places, but I think Reddit and Twitter are probably going to be the main 2. I'm not the biggest social media guy, just because that's just how I am. I despise Twitter, so I very rarely tweet. But I think Reddit is a great resource, and just doing that. Now, when I talk about going in and posting in Reddit, for example, you don't want to be one of those people that just only spam, or they don't really give any resources to the community. They don't interact with the community. That's a bad way to look at it. You want to participate in the community, and you want to, if you have a video, you would want to post it where it is appropriate. Say if you have a guide that you really worked on, and you feel like you could teach a lot of people about a particular champion that you've put hundreds of hours in, that would be a great place to post it on, like one of the mains, Aatrox mains. If you have an Aatrox guide or something like that, you don't want to be just like, hey, here's my stream highlights video of all of the big Twitch streamers, come watch this video, because that's going to get a very poor reception. And Reddit does have a habit of being very, very critical, but critical comments usually can be very great. Next up, I want to talk about, outside of Reddit, is going on YouTube and talking with other people, commenting on other people's videos, seeing what they're doing. Maybe a good way to check out what like the new people are doing that are just starting out would be to filter. Go to filter and just kind of go to the upload date. These are going to be some of the smaller channels. Let's see, 240 views. Yeah, and just kind of smaller channels that you might not really know about, but you can just see what they're doing and be like, hey, this guy's That guy's actually a pretty big channel, but you can just check out what really recent videos are, and that's going to help you out quite a bit. And you can comment and say, hey, that's a really cool video, how did you do this or that? And then sometimes people are going to want to check out your video because you did that. But you have to be very, very careful with this, because you do not want to spam. Only comment when you are very like considerate and you are like actually enjoying their content. I've come across a lot of people on my channel that they just kind of say nice video and then they spam that on thousands of videos, and I know that because it automatically gets sent into my spam folder and all the comment is nice video. I think I remember seeing a couple people, I don't want to name any names, but they would do that, and sometimes it will bring in subscribers to your channel, but most of the time they will be dead subscribers. They don't watch your videos, they just subscribe because they thought you subscribed, and that really isn't going to help your channel in the long run. Last up, I want to just talk about a little bit about the best, in my opinion, tool you can use for recording and streaming, and that is OBS and Streamlabs OBS. I am very technically inept. I am not the best with like setting things up and editing and all that stuff, but OBS had a really easy layout that I could understand very, very quickly. Also things like Photoshop, and I use Vegas Movie Studio, but that's kind of obscure. You might want to look into a different video making program, but just look into what other people are using, and Google is always a great resource on just checking out what they are doing, and that will wrap up the resources section. Alright, let's get into one of the most difficult, in my opinion, things that I did when I started my channel, and that is creating your first video. You're nervous, you want to do well, you want to have all these crazy things into it, but one big thing that I really want you guys to come across with is you really just don't be afraid to fail on your first couple videos. Everyone is not gonna have the best videos like just right off the gate. You're gonna get progressively better, hopefully, over time. So just put a video out there. Don't let the fear of failure just really just derail you completely from creating videos. Next up, you don't want to be doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect different results. Say you're doing one type of video. You're doing a great example of one person I've seen is he's trying to do one of those like Synapse types channels where every single video is just highlights of streamers, and he's doing it over and over and over and over again, and it's just kind of the same highlights that everyone's seen before, and he has like 200 or 300 videos and they get like 5 or 10 views each. This is really a poor way to do it. You want to adapt and see what works. Just kind of a quick story personally about my channel. I first started trying to do kind of personal highlights, because I was like, hey, I'm a diamond player, I'm like the top 2% or whatever of the player base. But I started to understand that I'm actually a very poor mechanical player. The only reason that I've climbed is through just kind of game knowledge and just decision making and whole other things that are not micro, so that it's not the most interesting gameplay to watch. So I went away from the highlight videos and I went towards more educational videos like this one. Next up, I'm going to talk about the views you're going to be getting on your first couple videos. Now, a small view count can be a little bit discouraging. Say you have your first video and it gets 5 or 10 views. I think that's kind of normal. I think my first video in the first week did probably like 25 views, and some of those were just me refreshing the page, seeing if anyone was actually watching my videos. But what I want you guys to do when you see your view count is visualize what those people would look like in real life. What would a classroom and you giving a lecture or presenting a video look like if you had 30 people in front of it? That's actually a pretty big audience, and you have a really unique opportunity when you're first starting out to make a really good first impression. And we've all had those people that are just very poor at doing presentations, and you're like, God, when is this guy just gonna end? And then there's gonna be other people that are very, very good, and you enjoy watching their stuff, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I really want to subscribe to this guy's channel, or I really want to watch this guy talk more about whatever he's talking about. So just really try and be like, hey, these 20 people took time out of their day to watch my video. That's insane. That's crazy. That's still a crazy concept to me today. I can't believe that I've had like 300,000 views or something, that so many different people have taken time out of their day to kind of see what this guy thinks about League of Legends. So don't get discouraged by small view counts, and always be like, hey, what would this 50 people in an auditorium be like watching my video? That's pretty cool, right? At least that's how I look at it. I don't know if it's nerdy, but yeah, that's one thing you can think about if you're getting discouraged a little bit by a small amount of views. One thing that kind of helped me a little bit is try and do one thing better than the previous video. One of the issues I had that was very terrible when I first started, I was completely monotone. I would never change kind of like the tone of my voice. I never had my face cam. I was never animated. I would just kind of be like that, just womp 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 at the start. And then I tried to change that up a little bit. I tried to make my videos more, it just kind of builds on itself. If you just try and make it a little, your video better than your last video, I think that's a great way to try and get some growth on YouTube. Now, the biggest thing, I think I covered this a little bit in a previous section, is you need to be providing value to your viewers, or they're simply just not going to come back. It's just the classic sales thing. Are you teaching them something? Are you making them laugh? Are they I mean, there's a bunch of different ways you can look to provide value to people, but you want to find one thing that you can do personally. Next step, have an extremely clear goal, identity, and introduction when you are starting out your video. Most of my videos, I think I have like a 50% audience retention, so that means that out of the 100% of people that click, 50% of them leave after the start of the video, and that's one thing I really need to work on, and have kind of like cool introductions, like PewDiePie always like is able to really grab your attention right when you start of the introduction. And that's why you always see like the people with like crazy colored hair and like waving their arms around and doing something goofy or some crazy like highlight at the start of their video. It's really important to have a good introduction identity. This is something I personally need to work on a lot, and actually be able to connect to your audience. And lastly, I know I kind of went over this a little bit, but being engaging. You don't want to just have like, oh God, what would be one of the most boring League of Legends videos? So one of those like recorded files just uploaded with no game sound, and it's just a replay of someone snowballing in a game with no talking, no editing, interesting plays. Make sure you're editing it so it's only showing the important parts. These people are taking time out of their lives to watch your video. Do not take that for granted by putting in stuff that no one really cares about. You just farming in lane with Veigar, just throwing out Qs with Veigar in lane, or doing Qs with Nasus in lane, the top lane, for the first 20 minutes. No one wants to watch that. Try and just engage them with interesting parts in your video. I think this is very particular to League of Legends, because there is a lot of dead time in League of Legends with the laning phase. So that will wrap up kind of the intro, creating your first video section. All right, let's get into the community section of your channel. Now, this is going to be an extremely important way to connect and to kind of foster your audience and like give feedback, make your videos better, hopefully make their viewing experience better. So you always want to be responding to comments. I think I've responded to every single comment I've had on my video, except sometimes a few just kind of I don't get a notification and I miss out on commenting on them. But as you can see, I try and respond to every single person that has a question, and that what I feel, it really helps me as a YouTuber, because not too many of the big channels are gonna respond to every single comment. Let's get an example. Let's go here. Let's go to like I'm a cutie pie, and let's just go to one of his regular videos. You're not gonna get a response from a bigger YouTube, like maybe the one top pin comment is going to get a response, just because simply he doesn't have the time. He wouldn't be able to create content if he was just interacting with people and responding to every single comment on his videos. So that is one big advantage that small content creators have, is that we can really talk to anyone that comes to our channel and likes our stuff. So really make sure you take full advantage of that advantage we have over the bigger YouTubers. Next up, you want to be very active and engaging and thought-provoking with your comments when they are asking very detailed questions. This will really kind of just drive kind of the comment, and then hey, someone saw a chain of questions and answers, and that might really interest them. Now, the next step. One thing that you will experience with YouTube, as with when you're on any social media, is you're going to get quite a bit of negative comments and feedback that is going to be just kind of like throwaway stuff, like they just don't like your video, or they don't like the sound of your voice, or they just don't like how you look, they don't like the game you're playing, they don't like whatever it can be. I want you to really look at it this way. Some people have a habit of making constructive criticism comments and turning them into negative comments. I think constructive criticism comments are the most important comments in my channel, that I always really pay attention. If there is someone that says, hey, you could have done this, this, and this, your intro was too long, this was boring, why don't you actually show it and not just talk about it? There's been a lot of comments that have really helped me, and I've learned, and I've hopefully made my channel a little bit better. I personally had a commenter a while back. I even remember his name. This is how important it was. His name was Matthias Engel, and he commented on, I think, a string of like 9 or 10 of my videos where I was really engaging with him, and I would like ask him, and I would pin his comments, and I'd be like, hey, what did you think about this one? What could I have done better this one? And he would always give these really nice detailed answers on what could have helped his viewer experience, and that was just an invaluable exchange that I think really helped me get from just kind of like this 100, 200 subscriber area to now where I'm over 2,000 subscribers, just because I've really focused a bit more on things that are more important to the viewer and that I didn't understand as the creator of the video. So if you get a Matthias Engel like I did, really try and learn as much as possible from your viewers if they're doing constructive criticism on your videos, because they're taking the time out of their day to be like, hey, I probably could help this guy if I told him like there are other videos that do stuff better and you should try and do what they're doing. Not be like carbon copies, but be like, hey, it's really bad to just have a bunch of dead gameplay. It should just mostly be highlights, unless it's kind of a live commentary, full gameplay. That's also a decent style. You really need to... A good way to do this is to go on YouTube and just check out a couple videos and understand from your perspective what made you click away from a video, what made you really like the video, what made you subscribe to a channel, what made you do a thumbs up. And that is going to be a great way because to grow your channel, because if you're just kind of looking at what is working and trying to replicate that in your own way and put your own twist and bring it into your own niche, that is going to be a great way to look at it. Now, when we're talking about community, the single thing I think that has helped me, I think there was a couple times where I was like, my channel isn't getting too much traction. I'm playing too much League. I think I'm spending too much time editing. I could be focusing on other things in my life. But the Discord for my server, there are so many cool people that I've really enjoyed talking to, and that have just kind of brought kind of my channel like to life. It's so much fun interacting with these people. So make sure to have a Discord set up where people that enjoy your content or people that enjoy your type of content can just kind of congregate and create like memes are going to be created, which have been the funniest things, and it's just a really great way to interact with people and that view your videos. It is seriously just again, it's the biggest thing you can do when you're a small content creator, because you're able to interact with those people directly with live chat on Discord. I've done a bunch of live coaching sections on Discord, so there's a bunch of really cool stuff you can do on Discord that you are unable to do on YouTube. Now, what I want to talk about a little bit with Twitch, a little bit with YouTube, and that is people that might be a little bit too focused on money and donations. This is a really poor way to look at it. Obviously, there are a lot of people out there that there's a small amount of people out there that make a lot of money on the different kind of gaming places, but this really should not be your primary focus at all. With your channel, it should not be the primary focus with Twitch, because if all you're thinking about is money, you're not thinking about games, you're not thinking about the community and your commenters, this is gonna really just kind of sour you when you don't make any money. What I think is the most important thing that you should be looking at with your channel is word of mouth. That is how channels grow. If someone has a positive experience with their channel and then shares it with one or two other people, boy, is that just a huge boon to your community. Like, it reminds me a little bit of some like really salty streamers who are like, they get trolled a little bit, then they put their Twitch stream in subscriber only mode, and they're like, I'm only gonna read your stuff if you donate me money. That's a very poor way to look at it. It's gonna be a poor experience for your community. So always try and focus on having a positive word of mouth, and do not focus on monetary gains. If people enjoy your content, you enjoy creating your content, I feel like and if you work very hard at it, I feel like money will come in some way or another. At the end of the video, I guess I'll show a little bit of what the money that I've made through this small channel, if you're at all curious kind of about the monetization and ads. And that will wrap up the community section of the video. So that will wrap up my video on how to hopefully help you guys start growing your own channel. And if I feel like I help out like one person that just becomes like a crazy good content creator that I just love watching all the time, I'll feel like this video is a success. If you guys have any questions, you can join the Discord, or you can comment on the video, and hopefully I will get around to it and try and help you out to the best of my ability. If you guys already have a channel created, I have a self-promotion channel inside of my Discord where you can post your Twitch, you can post your YouTube videos, you can post your music, your art, whatever you like. I love seeing what you guys create as well. And then the final thing, if you guys are curious at all about how much money a smaller YouTuber makes, over the lifetime, I think I've been monetized for a few months now. I've made around $400, and it just what you have to keep in mind with this is you're not going to see like a dime until you're monetizing. It's going to take you a very long time unless you really excel at video making to get monetized and get those first 1,000 subscribers. I think I started back in March, and then my channel finally got monetized in September. So it's just kind of based on how many ads you put on the videos, and I don't know, this shouldn't be like the biggest issue, just because this isn't like my primary source of income, or it's not like my main job or whatever, because I'm going to university. So it's just a nice little amount of money that I can just kind of have fun with. And it's kind of cool to just be able to make passive ad rate money when you are creating videos and putting it out there. If you have any questions about monetization stuff, there might be better resources online, but if you want like a live chat with me, I will try my best again to help you out. Yeah, you guys take it easy. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it wasn't too weird seeing this kind of video on a League of Legends YouTube channel, and have a great day.